Ruth Langmore, played by Julia Garner, is well and truly on the warpath heading into the final part of the last ever season of Ozark on Netflix. The last viewers saw, Ruth had confronted Marty, Jason Bateman, and Wendy Bird, Laura Linney, about the murders of Darlene Snell, Lisa Emery, and her cousin Wyatt Langmore, Charlie Tahan, as she desperately vowed to kill the person responsible. After Jonah, Skylar Gardner, revealed it was cartel Lieutenant Javi Alfonso Herrera behind the killings, Ruth was in no state to listen to the Birds' warning not to go after him. "If you wanna stop me, you're going to have to FG kill me," Ruth screamed at Marty in one of Ozark's most memorable moments ever, let alone just season 4. Armed with a shotgun and Javi's name on her mind, Ruth sped away from the Birds, dismissing Marty and Wendy's appeals to leave him be given his newfound alliance with the FBI. But could she be driving towards a one-way ticket to prison if she's framed for the murders of Wyatt and Darlene? There's plenty of evidence to back the theory, with just one factor being Marty's desperation to keep her away from Javi. Marty could see Ruth was in a reckless state of mind when she left his home, with him even telling her she was in no state to drive. While he was unable to stop her from leaving, his desperation to keep her away from Javi could lead to him taking desperate measures. Marty could call the cops to let them know Ruth had arrived at their home in a crazed state and armed with a shotgun after leaving Darlene's. If the police are called and find Ruth in her current mindset, they'd undoubtedly believe Marty's warning and bring her in, at least until she calmed down. And given the circumstances, there's plenty of evidence that could land Ruth in the frame as the one who pulled the trigger. Ruth, after all, was the last person seen at Darlene's after the duo's murder, so the police know she was there. And Ruth will have undoubtedly left DNA evidence at the murder scene after opening the door with her bare hands and shedding a tear. There are also the tire tracks from her truck at the scene, which easily place her at Darlene's around the same time of their murder. Secondly, Ruth had taken baby Zeke away from the Snells, so arguably kidnapping could be added to the charge. The only hiccup in framing Ruth for the murder could stem from finding a motive to commit such an act. However, it could easily be argued that resentment toward Wyatt and Darlene tying the knot could have led to the murderous outburst. Ruth was so against seeing her cousin and Darlene wed that she didn't attend the wedding, with only three Langmore, Carson Holmes, attending as a guest. From the outside looking in, this is pretty damning evidence that Ruth was not on board with the pair's nuptials, especially as she desperately tried to convince her cousin to flee the Ozarks with her. Of course, Netflix viewers know Ruth didn't pull the trigger, but when it comes to Marty and Wendy's scheming ways, nothing is off limits. They need Javi alive after agent Maya Miller, Jessica Francis Dukes, threw a spanner into the works of a deal with Omar Navarro, Felix Solis, so would do what they could to stop Ruth from killing him. Plus, with the aforementioned evidence and clues, newly appointed Sheriff Lee Guerrero, Cece Castillo, may well see this as enough to convict Ruth for the double murder and dismiss any protests she may have. Ozark Seasons 1 to 4 Part 1 are available to stream on Netflix now.